Hey guys, good morning. This is Mr. Four Stroke back with another video from Bangalore, and that's my friend Pawan on his Royal Enfield Continental GT, as you can see. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of good and bad things about the motorcycle. So, in his ownership experience, he's going to be telling a few things which he's felt about the motorcycle so far. And in any way, we're not promoting and defaming this brand in any way. That's just a disclaimer, so don't give me any hate in the comments. It's his motorcycle, he owns it, and he'll be explaining it to you. So let's start off with the bad things first.
So the few bad things that I've noticed while I've ridden this motorcycle for around 7 months. So I've experienced these things on a daily basis whenever I ride the motorcycle. The first thing, it has to be the shocks, the suspension forming, because in reference to other Royal Enfields, they are pretty comfortable. They have like really soft suspension. But on this bike, whenever I come across even a small pothole or a minor road hump, I can really feel it. Like, they give me a hard time. I have to really slow down. I can't just go over them. That's one disappointing thing, but explainable because it's a cafe racer. They have to harden the suspension. The second thing has to be the ABS. There's no ABS on this bike. The braking system is really good,
But the ABS is missing.
So if you're going really fast, high speed, if you're doing around 80 to 100, the bike carries a lot of momentum. It's a 200 kg bike. It carries a lot of momentum, and you need ABS to stop this bike, because the brakings are so good that if you just hold on to the brakes and hope to stop right then and there,
The wheels lock up.
yeah, you expect to fall off the bike sliding. That's one bad thing that's missing. ABS is a thing that's there in almost every bike that comes out these days, and that's a huge thing missing in this bike. Considering that all the good things that this bike gets, ABS is one thing that I'm really missing in this bike.
And a 500cc should have ABS.
Hopefully they add it on the next version or next
Models,
edition of Royal Enfield Continental GT. Hopefully the 750cc, they add the...
Oh yeah, it's a 750cc is coming out.
Soon, hopefully they add the ABS for that bike. I think I had talked about the mileage. Again, understandable and explained, like, since it's a 535cc engine and 30 bhp
Fuel injected motorcycle.
But it gives me around 22 kmpl in city limits and around 25 kilometers per liter in
the highway.
That's a little low.
But 29 bhp is very good for a Royal Enfield. I mean, it's not it's an unheard of totally.
So I wouldn't really say, it's a trade-off basically. You're trading mileage for
Power. But the mileage isn't that bad as well.
It isn't that bad. 25 kilometers per liter is a pretty standard mileage for any sports bike.
And I believe if you maintain it better, you can expect more mileage.
Depending on how I change my fuel,
Oils.
Yep. What fuel I put. And just for the info, premium or speed or Shell, those kind of fuels are advised for this motorcycle.
It's actually advised for all kinds of motorcycles for better performance.
But this motorcycle, I'd say your engine is cleaner and gives you a better performance with those fuels. And then I have to talk about the instrument cluster. That's one more thing that I've experienced in past couple of months. The electricals, the whole setup is pretty sufficient. I'm happy with the fuel gauge, the speedometer, everything, the whole setup. But
the instrument cluster is not very Royal Enfield like.
It's not Royal Enfield like, that's one thing. But that's the digital system, I think there's something wrong with it. I'm not sure what is. The fuel gauge, it's not very accurate. It keeps on changing. Sometimes it goes to reserve, sometimes it goes to the third bar, even without me filling the fuel out. Even if I'm just even if I just turn the key off and on, sometimes it changes. It hasn't now, but it does. So it's not accurate.
Just to add a point, guys, while on my way riding this motorcycle here,
it was on reserve.
It was showing the bike is in reserve, even though it had enough fuel, more than enough fuel in the tank. So that's kind of one thing. The electricals on this bike is not that accurate. Royal Enfield should definitely work on that.
I had to get that checked. That's one thing.
But the instrument cluster is very beautiful. It resembles the instrument cluster of the Triumph Thruxton R, very accurately. I mean, it's very un-Royal Enfield like, I might say, but it looks very good.
One more thing about the bike is, some say it's a good thing, that this bike is a see-through bike. What do you call a see-through bike? So
It's a naked motorcycle.
it's a naked motorcycle, and you have a lot of motorcycles, with a lot of fairing, and then they cover up like most part of the engine. So this is actually a see-through motorcycle. You actually see through everything in the engine.
Mm-hmm.
And one small bad thing is the throttle mechanism. It's exposed. So this is a very delicate assembly here. This is a very delicate.
Yeah, the wires and
part.
everything
Yeah,
are shown.
it's exposed. So I don't think they should have exposed this. They should have given some kind of covering.
Yeah, if you
always
go on
feel-
slightly
yeah.
bad roads and if a stone comes and hit that, it'll
That's
get
a very
completely
crucial
damaged.
part of the
Yeah.
bike, you see. So I don't think they should have left it open like that. It always scares me when I go off-road or when I go on a long ride. It always scares me. What if something happens, something small thing just comes and even if your bike just falls off, say.
Yeah, there's a chance that it might get damaged if something comes hits it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing that scares me. I mean, if that's gone, no more throttle.
Royal Enfield should definitely
Do something.
cover that
Yeah.
part at least with some the frame or anything, but that thing shouldn't be exposed. That's really dangerous. So those were the bad things shared by the owner himself about the Royal Enfield Continental GT. And now we're going to be talking about the good things or the better part about this motorcycle, which makes this motorcycle it makes this motorcycle different from the other Royal Enfields which we've been seeing through generations. So the good things will be explained by him again.
Okay, starting off with the good thing. So the first thing I love about the motorcycle, it has to be the power. Like usually Royal Enfields don't have this crisp throttle response. Like they don't have this power.
Sudden
right
powers.
behind it, yeah. So this bike actually delivers that kind of power. That maybe because it is because of the electronic fuel injection system and the 30 bhp that they have added to the engine. So it really feels good to just push the throttle and get that power delivered.
It's around 29 bhp. I think if you add
bhp.
extra performance exhaust, it'll
Zero
put
exhaust, yeah,
it'll
just
put
pump
1
it up.
bhp or something extra.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I love about the motorcycle every time I ride. And
So this is the most powerful Royal Enfield till date.
fastest, most powerful, yeah.
I think the Himalayan is the one which comes after this, but even this thing is very, very the technologically more advanced than the classics and everything. And I think personally I think Royal Enfield should have added an extra exhaust over to the left side as well, because it's a single-sided exhaust, which is very fine, but I think an extra exhaust would have done more justice to the view of how this bike looks from the back.
It would have sounded better and would have made the looks better.
Yes.
And talking about the cool things that come with the bike, it comes with the Pirelli Sport Deep tires, tubeless tires, I might add. Really good grip even on wet roads.
So
That's
Pirelli tires for a Royal Enfield is something I didn't know about it until I came here and rode this motorcycle. So as you can see, it's written Sport Demon right there. So it's a Pirelli tire for a Royal Enfield. I might add it's a really super bike, sports bike kind of a tire, and for a cafe racer to have it, and especially Royal Enfield, that's really, really good. And talking about the tubeless, yes, it is a tubeless tire in spite of the fact that it gets spoke rims, because even the Himalayan doesn't get that feature. So no worries taking it off-road and worrying about a puncture or something. This thing will totally be fine, and even on the roads as well, it will be very fine.
And then the braking system of this bike, I have to talk about the braking system of the bike. The bike comes with two disc brakes, like on the front and the back, unlike the classic which only has the disc brake in the front, and they are Brembo, no less.
Yes, it's a
couldn't get
Brembo
any
brake.
better. Brembo brakes. It has really good stopping power.
Well, Brembo brake with the calipers definitely put that much more stopping power to the performance of this motorcycle, and it's not something you see in every bike. Like you can see my bike standing there, even that doesn't get Brembo brakes, and I'm have to compromise with that, so it's fine. But the Brembo brakes in this thing really add much stopping power to the motorcycle.
The other good thing I like about this Royal Enfield bike is the vibration. It has very minimal vibration compared to the other Royal Enfields, especially going around 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. you feel it's not exactly a vibration so much as like you feel like it's a normal bike. You don't feel like it's a Royal Enfield because that's so less
Royal Enfields are kind of known for their lot of
Some
vibrations.
people prefer the vibration, but this is not the typical Royal Enfield that you ride it or see.
It's very refined compared to the others.
It's a refined bike, and then you don't feel the vibration here on the handlebars. Maybe the reason being what they call it, the clip-on handlebars, because I think the whole assembly just takes out most of the vibration. And that's one good thing that I've noticed riding this bike and the other Royal Enfields that my friends have. So vibration is
The fourth thing.
that I like about this bike. Very minimal vibration. And the fifth thing, it has to be the option that they're given for the seat. This is a really cool thing I like about the bike. So this is a cafe racer seat. This is how a cafe racer looks like. The cowl, this thing is called a cowl.
And this thing is a single seat.
It's a single seater. Maybe if you find a lean guy or a girl, you can squeeze him.
But that won't be comfortable.
It won't be comfortable, not advised because this thing is plastic.
Yep.
So this actually gives the whole bike a cafe racer look. This is a really cool thing for the bike. And if you want to go, if you want to take your pavilion rider with you, don't worry. You actually have the double seat option. You may have to buy it from outside, but they have given an option.
Royal Enfield doesn't give it as an option.
You have to buy the
seat separately.
Okay. Come over, I'll show you how to. So this is how you remove the seat. It's really easy. So it's really easy to open to take off this single seat. So this is the toolbox where the battery is. You don't have to actually open the whole thing, but I'll just do it just to show you guys. So this is where the battery is. You find this thing, this cable. Just have to pull it, right?
It makes that sound.
It makes it sound. That's that.
And yeah, you can remove it.
seat's
And add an extra seat. It's just as simple as that.
That's how you remove the seat. And then if you have the double seat, you can just put it.
So that's how you fix the single seat, and if you want, you can remove it in like a couple of, not even a couple of minutes, within a minute you can remove it and attach the additional seat if required. That's very simple. So that's about it for this video. Those were the 5 good and the 5 bad things of the Royal Enfield Continental GT shared by the owner Pawan himself. So that's it about this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. This is me and him signing off from this video. We'll see you soon in the next one, where I'll be riding this thing and talking about the first ride impression of this motorcycle. So stay tuned for that. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Take care, bye bye, and over and out. What a nice dog.